So Taboo by Denzel Curry was the first album that I've heard from Denzel. The feature he did with Glass Animals for Tokyo Drifting, that is what made me say I really need to look deeper into Denzel. Taboo, something about it gave me Outcast. It was one of my favorites from a production standpoint. From what I gathered from the lyrics, it sounded like it was about a questionable relationship. Even if you don't wait for me forever, I'll wait for you. But I think it's that and the themes of like a forbidden love. First listen had me kind of ready to run and be like, oh no, but I stuck around and it paid off. Black Balloons is the reason why I checked this album out. Hip hop like this, that sounds like this, is literally right up my alley. It was interesting too because my favorite parts were the instrumental, Denzel's flow, Gold Link, which I need to check out more of his stuff. But what really got me was the instrumental and how optimistic and uplifting and full of life it sounds. And given that the song is about depression and the black balloons being that dark cloud that's hovering over Denzel, it's crazy. And in the chorus, what does he say? It's the hot pink Valentine red, which are colors of love. Those are colors that you would associate with Valentine's Day. It's funny because love is something that Denzel really struggles with in the album. A lot of the album is darker and pissed off. To take that thought and pair it with the bright colors of the balloons with the darkness of the black balloons, just I love these deeper meanings and whatnot. But yeah, his flow was insane. That's one of my favorite parts of the song. It's really something to me how when the balloons pop, that's when things get a little bit better. And he said he made this song when he was in a better place mentally, which you can feel. I think this is maybe the only song on the album with a lighter feeling to it. Now, Cash Maniac isn't a dark song. It's really that talk your shit because you have a lot of money type of song. I did add this to my favorites on my second listen. I don't know what was going on with me on the first go round when I didn't add it to my favorites, but now it's definitely on there. Balance my chi, now I'm feeling fantastic. Love it. And there's a lot of life in this one too. I really was into the vaporwave ending that it had. But the theme of having a shit ton of money went into Sumo. Oh my God, Sumo. My fiance is a fan of this song. When it is played in the car, whether it's my car, his car, whatever, the beat is face melting good. Like, it's that damn good. I actually had a hard time paying attention to the lyrics because of the beat and how hard it is. His confidence was up in this song. I also added this one to my favorites too on my second listen. I think I didn't add it on the first listen because it's one of those where it's like, to my fiance, since you like this song, I'm not gonna add it, but it's too late now because it's in my favorites. Super Saiyan Superman. And my fiance keeps saying that I need to watch Dragon Ball Z. But on this one, Denzel is so talented. I thought it was way too short and it felt alien-like, which is cool with the title of the song itself. Like, it's a badass title. Switch It Up was another one where I had so much trouble paying attention to the beat because of how incredible it was. I like the theatrics that he had going on with his voice, the acting that he put into it, and it plays into the paranoia and fear and people being weird around him and clout chasing and changing up around him. Want to be down as dependent, like what's going on? Why are things different? It's a little weird. And I also threw this one on my favorites. A lot of songs from this album I threw on my favorites from the second listen because I think it hit harder. Like, that tends to happen when you listen to an album again on the second time, which is why I'm glad I'm doing this. Mad was really, really something. his friend held him up at gunpoint. And Denzel is dealing with overcoming jealousy from other people. But he was talking his shit. He had some great lines in this one. Talking slick like it's oil speaking. Make like a roller coaster, put your hands up. Just went off. The second half of the song stuck with me. In the song itself, it sounds like there's a lag, which really helps to push his voice out, I thought. Sirens was stuck in my head earlier. The tickling sound effect that's in the song was I liked it, but it was unsettling. And that really worked with the song. I think when artists make songs like this, it is really needed. Police brutality, negativity within politics, like these things, these lyrics are still relevant today. Even songs back from the 90s and Tupac and the things that he was saying, still all relevant today. Black Lives Matter movement was mentioned. Denzel had a conviction and a drive in his voice. And there is so much hopelessness in it. And again, it's still very much present today. I love Jid. Love the fact that he was the feature on this one. He's also on my list to check out, though. I really want to get deeper into him because from the features that I've heard him on and some songs that I've heard from Jid, right up my alley, too. I think I streamed him at Lollapalooza, I believe, earlier this year, so I'm definitely checking him out. Clout Cobain. I originally wasn't a huge fan of this song. I like it a little bit better now that I've re-listened to it. The themes that are in the song really interested me this go around, with it being about the almost violent, destructive nature that people get into when they're trying to have all these things and climb social statuses. It's obsessing over fame and being relevant beyond repair. I was a little bit more into it on the second listen. The Blackest Balloon was one of my favorites. Gloomy, and the beat was crazy but still mellow. Very aggressive. Why is my brother calling to me? I thought it was crazy how this followed Black Balloons, where they pop and everything is a little bit okay now, whereas in this one it's very angry. Like, it's one of the angriest songs on the entire album to me. And he's going through those hardships and depression and grief, and it turns into him being really frustrated, which was put into the song amazingly well. Perks had so much energy. Like, he was mad in this one. He was talking about people in the industry playing pretend and not really being themselves. He said he never rode a wave. He said he's different. He was anti-label, anti-drugs, anti-mumble rap, which I thought was funny. Because that's the trendy thing, is to have like a really good fucking beat. But what are the lyrics? Like, what are we talking about? If we're talking about anything at all. But he was basically screaming that hip-hop is in a fragile state. And I still, for the most part, can understand where he's coming from today. He said he barely fucked with the earth, which as an earth sign, I was a little offended. But with people, I can kind of understand where he was coming from with that too. Vengeance pulls you into the song with that intro. It was really immersive. And I like how gritty and assertive everyone was on this track. But they made my throat hurt just listening to them, because I was like, how do y'all, you really have to tap into your feelings to get your voice to like do that. Because my throat was hurting just listening to it. I like the South Park mention. I'm a bigger fan of the end of the song, of course, because there was that nice R&B moment. And it was a good spot after the song itself was mostly very angry. It was basically getting at the industry is trash, but also don't sleep on him, which is crazy because he's more underrated than I thought he was. Black Metal Terrorist was crazy. The calm chorus, but the chaotic verses just had me locked in. He was on full attack mode, and I felt a lot of hopelessness from this one too. It just smothered the light, like any light that was present in the album. Finish Zell is so catchy. I was singing that right after the album finished. I didn't know that was his alter ego. That's pretty cool. Overall, I definitely like this album way more on my second listen. I like this a lot because in hip hop, I respect when an artist is really honest and open about their emotions, especially the darker side. This is the most aggressive album that I've heard so far on my 500 albums challenge list. And that just goes to show you music is so therapeutic. He put all of that feeling into this entire project. It's something that people can relate to, and a lot of people can probably resonate with that, but it's put into music. It's not put into a destructive place that like hurt himself or other people. That is why music is such a safe space, and I'm here for it, and I'm obsessed and I love it. Like I was saying before, it's crazy how underappreciated he is. I kind of thought Denzel was a little bit bigger, if I'm being honest, and I think it's crazy that he's not. With the things that are mainstream in hip hop, with him being kind of that person that's like, fuck all of that. I'm giving y'all art, I'm giving y'all how I'm feeling, and I'm being open about it. I think maybe that's a little bit intimidating, maybe to like just the general atmosphere of hip hop. Things like this you don't hear on the radio, and it's like it has its upsides and its downsides to it of being this type of artist, but I'd prefer this 1000% when it comes to hip hop. I prefer this a million and one times over. He's also not afraid to advocate for himself in that way. He knows he's underrated, but I don't think he's the type to fall into trends like that. He stands 10 toes down for himself, and I really respect that. I think I messed up because I might have read or seen somewhere where this is a part of like a trilogy or something like that. So I'll be checking out more from Denzel because when it comes to those dark emotions, he's very tapped in, and I want to hear more of it. I'm very impressed.